Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone in the YouTube world. Welcome back to the Lost Lion channel and welcome to 2025. So happy New Year's to everyone. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking my videos. It's been helpful. And 2025 is going to be full of surprises. So stay tuned and follow my Instagram too at Leonidas19. So with today's video, the first one in 2025, we're going to be talking about Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. We are going to discuss my experience, some little tips and tricks about this private island, Disney's newest private island. It literally opened months ago, and I had the fortunate experience to explore the island, enjoy what it has to offer, and I want to tell you guys all about it. Now, I will say I was super lucky to visit both Disney private islands back in 2024, so I do know both of them really well, and at the very end of the video, stick around because I will say which one is my favorite. And one thing I do want to mention is that the older Disney ships as of right now do visit Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. I'm not sure about the newer ships, but I believe looking through the newer itineraries later in 2025, all ships will be going to Lookout Key. So just keep an eye on what itinerary you want if you want to visit this beautiful island. So starting with my overall experience, let's first talk about the port. So when we land there in Lookout Key, you will see the longest port I think anybody will have seen, and it looks like it's a mile long going to the ocean. So I don't know why they did this, but for us this was a complete 13-minute walk nonstop from the ship all the way to the island. Now don't get me wrong, I love the walk and the water is so beautiful. I get mesmerized with the blue crystal clear water that is surrounding us. But 13 minutes of walking is a little tough, especially when it's really hot, and we visited in October. Now, a couple things to note. One is that they do have water stations throughout the port, so you can be walking about halfway, you'll see some water stations. So I love that about Disney, thinking about the small things. And the other thing is the music playing. So you will continuously hear the Bahamas, the music that they have there, all the way till you get into the island. So when we finally got on land, you're going to end up at a little shops and little places to buy things if you want. And once you walk past that, you're going to end up at Mabrika Cove. That is the only tram stop that you will visit when you go from there all the way to Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. Now, before I forget, I will leave a link to the map below of the whole Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. It's really helpful, and you'll see a lot of these maps on the island anyway. Once you get off at Goombay, you will end up in the middle of Lookout Key. So this is kind of like where you want to explore. If you want to go to the left, you're going to end up at Serenity Bay, which is for adults only. If you end up in the middle, it's for family and kids activities. And if you go to the right, there are simply more activities to do with a lot of Mickey and friends just waiting for you to have a good time. And then if you go to the further right side, you will end up at the nature trail that you can take all the way to Lighthouse Point. So the nature trail you can either do by yourself or you can have a guided tour. That's all up to you. And if you go to the far right side, you will also end up at the beautiful beach. Either way, this is one continuous long stretch of beach that everybody shares. They're just divided up into sections for adults, families, and kids. We first explored the right side and we were able to attend one of Mickey and Friends' fun activities. That was at the Play Pavilion. It was so fun because you could dance with Goofy and be with Mickey, and Donald Duck was there, I think. It was fun. It was like so many kids, so many families just having a good time with little mini games and a lot of music. Now, if you end up in the middle of the whole area, you're going to find Junkanoo celebration called Rush. It's like a Bahamian cultural dance that they do there. And this is at the Goombay Cultural Center as well. So you'll have a lot of things to do, especially in the middle of Lookout Key. It's such a fun experience, very interactive. We didn't get to attend this, but what I heard was such a good time. I wanted to be with Goofy and Mickey and just have a good time. And there's a lot of photo opportunities for you and your family to take all around the island as well. So I would say that the only things that are not included here are drinks, any cabanas, and then any shore excursions that, are going to cost extra for you. I didn't find myself spending any extra money here. So most of everything is included in your fare. And I almost forgot, one pro tip is that if you have the Wi-Fi package on the ship that you're coming from, your Wi-Fi will also work on the island. Now you do have 3 places included for you to eat anything you want, and this is True True Barbecue, True True 2 Barbecue, and Serenity Bay Barbecue. These places are all spread out throughout the island, so you will not have to walk too far to get to one of them. But I ended up eating at Serenity Bay Barbecue, and let me tell you, I loved the food, the atmosphere. They had live music. It was such a great time. Now, these eateries don't open until 11 a.m. and they close at 2 p.m. So I would advise you to have breakfast on the ship, because you will have a hard time finding any kind of snacks until you hit 11 a.m. You also have a lot of family activities, such as the Rush Out Gush Out water park. And I saw this place packed with kids. They were having such a good time. All the beach chairs are included. You don't have to pay any extra money for this. So I love Disney putting so many things included with your cruise fare. It makes you feel like you don't have to spend more money. You don't feel like penny pinching. It really is a good experience overall. And you know, something that I realized is that walking throughout Lookout Cay, there are no swimming pools. There are no public swimming pools at all. And I actually like this. I think a lot of people do not like this, but I like this because the ocean is one of the top 3 most beautiful beaches that I've seen. And I've been around the world and seen many beaches. I have to tell you, Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point has one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever been to. Why don't you guys let me know, do you prefer for the Disney Cruise Line private islands to have a pool, or do you just prefer the beach? Because I'm a beach person and I spent the whole time there. I loved it. There were minimal waves in some areas and then bigger waves in other areas. But this continuous long stretch is nothing but white sand, no rocks, no seaweed, beautiful crystal water, and I loved it. Now, Lookout Cay feels very new. It is very new. It just opened months ago. There's an open air, like barely any shade feeling of like just exploring, and the plants, you can tell, the trees, you can tell, are very new. So you can get used to it. You will be walking quite a bit on your experience or your day here at Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. Now, I spent most of the day at Serenity Bay. I got the beach chairs there at the beach, and I just took a nap. I had a great time. I vlogged everything that I could. And what I do like about Serenity Bay is that if you keep walking even further, you will find this isolated beach all by itself, nobody around. You can walk all the way to the tip away from Lookout Cay, and you're going to get fantastic views of a beach all by itself. It feels really good, and I loved walking through that area because I felt like nobody was around. You know, something else I loved about the island is that I don't feel like I was being sold so many things. There were just a couple of souvenir shops, but I never felt like Disney was pressuring you to buy drinks or souvenirs or anything else. This was a roam around yourself for free. If you want to go here, there, doesn't matter, like nobody's gonna bother you. I love the feel, and it is so spaced out that sometimes you felt like you had the island to yourself. So if you want to be more interactive, go to more activities, and even have fun with the Mickey and Friends, you'll want to go to the right side. Once you get off of the Goombay tram station, go to your right side. Now if you go to your left side, that's for adults only, and there's that Disney feel, of course, but you won't have a lot of activities going. You'll see the bars, the private beach, and just the lounging area. So that's my favorite part, is Serenity Bay. I loved it so much. So guys, I must confess to you that I think over the 2 Disney private islands, I prefer Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point over Castaway Cay. Now I'll be doing a video later if you guys want me to, but Lookout Cay is just more spread out. It's more of a beautiful beach. I think the layout is perfect. I loved it overall. It's new, of course, so I guess that has a lot to do with it. Either way, both islands are beautiful. I know some itineraries actually visit both islands on the same week, so that'd be just amazing to do both of them within days. Maybe one day I'll take one of those cruises. Now, something that I didn't really do, I didn't drink at all on this private island. So I did see a lot of waiters, a lot of bartenders going around getting drinks. I never did, but I also did see plenty of bars. I think there's about 3 or 4 bars on this island, more on the Serenity Bay side. But I did walk by several, and it looked like typical fun bars of Disney. Now, both Disney private islands are located in the Bahamas. They're not too far from one another. I believe it's about 60 miles apart. I think in the end, again, I like Lighthouse Cay a little more than Castaway Cay, but regardless, you have to visit. And if you have any questions, you can leave something in the comments below. So again, guys, thank you for watching so much. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and the comments. I love the comments from y'all. It's basically everything is positive comments about, you know, the cruise experience, my views. I love it all. And again, if you need help with booking any cruise, not just Disney, I can help with that as well. So with that, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone in the YouTube world. Again, Happy New Year's. I hope everyone has a great 2025, and I'm going to see you guys plenty this year because we have so many trips coming up, and I want you to stay tuned because you won't believe where I'm going next.